paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive. They're selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face these scum. They literally crawl out from under rocks. They have green looking skin and they run around screaming, we love Satan, we wanna eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy weird sick stuff man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. What the hell? That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. The literal vampire pot and the goblins are hobbling round coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap. We don't even notice and itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stab your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this.
Good morning, my beauties and bees, and welcome to another installment of Life in the Hive. I almost said Cryptic Corner. It's like that. We're not to Cryptic Corner yet. We just got here. You all are getting Sporty Spice Brie this morning. I'm wearing my tennis dress and tennis visor. I might go play. There's a park down the hill here. I might go play later today. I don't know. But I wish I could. The recording is skipping. Oh, come on now. We can't skip early in the morning. But anyway, today is February 1st. It's been a long January. Probably the longest January I've seen in a long time. Just slowly rolled by. Slowly, but surely. We're here. It's February 1st. Tomorrow's Groundhog Day, so yeah. But needless to say, I am athleisure. Yeah, well, I'm actually wearing leggings with this dress for the first time. Every other time I've worn it, I've just worn briefs under it. I'm actually wearing like sporting leggings underneath it. I probably won't wear those when I go out. I was just cold this morning, but I wanted to go ahead and get this stuff put on. My sunglasses match this too, so it looks really good all put together, right? Like a cute little outfit. But I digress. Enough about my outfit. Matter of fact, I'm going to take these shoes off and make myself a little more comfortable as I talk candidly to my hive. Good morning. Good morning, beauties and bees. Hope you aren't afraid of the literal vampire potbelly goblins, because they're not real. But I want to say good morning to everybody who's out there too, because we got John Hudson and Deep Arcs, James Nordhoff and Sonia Hopeful. We got Dave from Captive Desk, and there's Bugbot saying good morning. Jason Jacoby is in the house. We had Sumami show up and look at the trees, and Fox is here, and KW, good morning. Good morning. Glad you were able to make a live one. Native Atheist. I don't know if I caught your name up there or not. Sometimes I say your name twice. I don't know why. Yeah. But Native Atheist, you deserve to be said twice because you're awesome. Keep being awesome. And D is here too. I love you, D. Love you, love you. Okay. Well, today, it's been a rough week. So every Saturday I come in and say it's been a rough week, but this one's been rougher than most. At least if you're trans or part of the LGBTQIA plus community, because we just got downsized. There'll be more on that on the trans positions later this week, though. Let's not even dive into that. That's just the kind of stuff that's going on that's got Miss Bumblebee all fired up. But some good things happened too. I got a doctor down here, which is a good development. And I've been kind of like this was the time frame that I'd hoped to avoid, but it's okay. You get to 90 days when I moved down here from my old doctor up in Illinois. Said, get your 90 days filled, and that was in I guess you would say the beginning of November, and then so the 90 days took us out to like right about now. So I started running out of stuff, but I got a doctor now prescribing my stuff, and feeling a lot better. It really does. Like when you're on meds, certain medications, and you go off of them for a couple of days, you can really cause a spiral. And now is not the time of year to be spiraling. Too much important work needs to be done right now, and I can't be spiraling. Spooky bed hair. Good morning. It's not morning over there though. It's like afternoon, isn't it? Yeah, regardless, good afternoon, good day, sir. Good day, it's good to see you, sir. Thank you so much for stopping by. I'm going to do a British accent for the rest of the show. A terrible British accent. I don't sound like I'm from anywhere particularly, just roughly from somewhere over there. But I'm an American and you all sound the same to me. Not actually, though. I can tell the difference. I just can't control the difference. Alright, I gotta stop that. Or somebody's gonna, cancel me. The Brits are gonna cancel me. You can't have that happen. So this week, today's show, we did the polls, right? We did the polls like we do. Right, and we came up with the Clifton Bunny Man for Cryptic Corner, and we came up with learning pyrokinesis for. I'm serious. Yeah, we're learning pyrokinesis today. I got everything all set up for it. Got this yummy candle here, and we're gonna set it up like this and get it all lit up, and we're gonna learn some pyrokinesis later on in the show. So you have to get through the Bunny Man first, and the Bunny Man's kind of a harrowing tale, so it may meander some people away. The Bunny Man is more like Slender Man or the Mad Gasser on Mattoon. Like somewhere in between those two, than it is like Bigfoot or like Loch Ness Monster or a lot of the stuff we cover on here. We do dabble in the supernatural in the Cryptic Corner segment, or true crime even, because this kind of borders the line between the two. But you'll see what I'm talking about when we get into Bunny Man. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. But I'm just looking forward to most today is learning the pyrokinesis, because we did this before. We did this on a Learn Telekinesis channel, a stream, and pyrokinesis was like one of the things that they did, and they set a napkin on fire. But we're not going to do that. We're gonna just focus mainly on all their little candle stuff and see if we can replicate. Should be fun. My candle's in a contained case, though. Their candles are always almost loose because you got to be able to control the airflow to that candle very directly. And I may struggle with that, having my candle down in here. But again, stuff that we will cover when we get there. The in the last segment, Meep, we are going to be talking about Roadrunners today. I'm actually in Roadrunner country, so I'm in the heart of Roadrunner country, greater Roadrunner country too, because, you know, greater than, lesser than. We're going to be learning about this little desert bird that is enamored cartoon fans for decades now. Some people don't even know what they look like or in real life, or think that they're mythical like a jackalope. So we'll see what happens when we get there. Let's go ahead and jump into Cryptic Corner, though, because it is that time. A cryptid takeover would be nice. Yeah. Let's do this. Cryptic Corner, the Whistle Pigs. Yeah, aka the Whistle Pigs for the groundhog. Yeah. All right, I will see you guys in Cryptic Corner. Good evening, my beauties and bees and whistle pigs of all shapes and sizes. Welcome to Cryptic Corner, where we explore the unexplained, the supernatural, the paranormal and hidden, the mysterious, the alien, the accursed, and the forbidden. And today's topic kind of spans all that gaps between all those terms and what they mean. It's a really weird story that we're getting into today, and people were saying that, hey, do the Bunny Man Bridge for Easter instead. I got a comment that said that, and let me tell you why I'm doing this now. Okay, because if I do it live now, right, then when I cut this for its standalone release, that will be closer to Easter, or I can even put that on the Friday before Easter Sunday. So there's a method to my madness. So bear with me. You'll see that I'm starting to figure. It took me, only took me 4 years to figure it out. That hey, if you want to have your Christmas topic release around Christmas and not in February, then you need to cover the Christmas topic in October live. It's kind of it's a learning curve, but I don't that cartoon would piss we're talking about Roadrunners later in the show, in the live show. You'll have to go back and watch this because I don't do the Breeze Bestiaries, the standalones anymore, though I might do them as compilation playlist at some point. I haven't decided yet. Regardless, yeah, it's and it's the day before Groundhog Day. It's rodents. Groundhogs are rodents, and rabbits are lagomorphs, and they're sister clades. So whatever. Well, this is our Groundhog Day. We could have done some time loop stuff. That would have been fun too to do for Groundhog Day. But like I was saying, if I wanted to have Groundhog Day themed content on Groundhog Day, then I should have recorded that back in November. That's just the way that this thing works, the way that my scheduling works. So It's good to see everybody, though. I got a nice little live audience chatting out here. I got some more new people popping in. We had Kip Davis and Maya Atkinson that I saw. So good morning, Hollyhawks here too. We will probably get the Mallard crew sliding in here in a little bit, because Chris is doing his sci-fi Saturday morning show, which starts bright and early, as not to compete directly with me, but it's usually still going, at least for the first portion of my show. Yeah, so who was the Clifton Bunny Man? What is the Clifton Bunny Man? Does anybody in this audience know anything about the Clifton Bunny Man? I'm going to start a poll right now. Who or what was the Clifton Bunny Man? So there's a few different theories about what it is, and they're gonna be covered. So the first thing is the ghost of an escaped mental patient. And then angry squatter. Right? That's going to be an option. And then what else? Cryptid creature. I suppose we can do that. And then we'll do urban legend. I wish I could make it so you could pick more than one, because a lot of these will overlap. There, we're starting the poll though. There's a pretty intense Star Trek conversation. Damn it, Mallard. Don't make war on the Hive. We will sting you. All right. So there's our options, as you can see. But I don't know if any of you all have even heard of the Bunny Man, or the Clifton Bunny Man. So this may be the first immersion any of you all get into this folklore. Like I said, so it's kind of like Slender Man. It's pre-Slender Man though, like by a long time. It bridges the gap between the in the development and evolution of the creepypasta. It kind of bridges the gap between those story, like Bloody Mary kind of stuff you hear about at slumber parties, and the stuff that the like Ted the Caver, where people are actually putting something out there and saying, "Hey, this is real," kind of Blair Witch style. But it was a work of fiction. So yeah, it kind of bridges that gap. But there's some interesting angles to this, and we'll get into it. Don't you worry. Let me know how the audio is too.
In Northern Virginia, there is probably no tall tale as famous and wide-stretching as the legend of Bunny Man Bridge. This story can be heard in the echoes of middle school hallways, over the crackle of college bonfires, through the noise of low-budget podcasts, and through the glimmer of Hollywood cinema. But is it a true story? And if not...
Now, I don't think that the bunny guy from Donnie Darko, what was his name, Harold? Regardless, I don't think he has anything to do with the Clifton Bunny Man. You clicked on the wrong thing on the poll. Well, now the poll is skewed and useless, Sumami. Get it together.
What is it based on? Was it a total lie? Or was it actually based on something more sinister? On this episode of Locals Only, who is the Bunny Man.
Nice use of your sound table there, really. I liked that thunder, and then it rolls right into the white noise static with the tones. Nice. Okay. It's time to roll one or the other back, though.
We start our story today. Every Halloween, people can't wait to tell their recently transplanted friends new to the Virginia area their favorite ghost story about Bunny Man Bridge. Like most urban
Did you all have a ghost story like this in your little town? We had a place called Screamin' Johnny's that had like all sorts of different origin stories to it. But it was a burnt out old 19th century church.
legends, there is no definitive tale. Everyone's version is just as individual as their fingerprint.
Frank, that was his name. Thank you.
The version I heard over the years.
Aliens isn't an option. Do you think that it only gave me so many choices? If I could have added aliens and Frank, I would have. It only lets me do up to 4 though. So I have to do the 4 that are proposed in this video first and foremost. Foremost, get it? I'm hilarious, and I'm here every Saturday morning, live from the Hive. You can join this lovely chat that's going on above my head and participate in the shenanigans. We usually have a pretty good time here looking at, folklore, urban legends, cryptozoology, pseudoscience, aliens, ghosts. We do conspiracy theories. We cover some wild stuff, and we also talk about aminals because that's all tangential to understanding what people are seeing when they see cryptids and creatures. But there's no mistake on what people were saying when they saw this guy. I'll tell you that right now.
Years is the story of Clifton, a quiet little hamlet smack dab in the middle of nowhere. It's west of Alexandria.
It's really not in the middle of nowhere, though. It's actually right in the middle of somewhere, because if you go out here and look, there's D.C., right? That's Washington, D.C. That's Capitol Hill, where that heart is, right? It's just, there's Arlington. So it's out here a ways into the burbs, but it's not in the middle of nowhere. You want to know where the middle of nowhere is? Grow up where I grew up. In this wasteland of northeast Missouri. Look, there's a big patch without even any towns in it. That doesn't happen in Maryland. That does not happen near Bunny Man Bridge. Bunny Man Bridge is not as rural as folklore makes it out to be, is the point I guess I'm trying to make. It is in a forested area, but it's like a pocket of forest in the middle of cities. It's not it's not an expansive wilderness or anything of that sort. And there's this little township, yeah. But the sad thing is we can't drop down in there and look at it. You can see it over here, what it looks like, but our little guy won't even drop down there. So, I mean, as far as that goes, if that's your standard of ruralness, we could the closest we can get is this corner right here, right? And there's a hillock in the way, so there's no way to actually see the bridge from Google Earth. You have to see it from the aerial view, and you can't really see nothing because there is the trees, and then of course it's a tunnel, so there's the overpass, which is the railroad overpass. So we're not going to get too much out of the map today on this one, unfortunately, but the good thing is there's lots of footage and photos of the bridge. It's as it actually appears today. Now, when I was younger when I was researching this, and then back in the 90s when I was a paranormal investigator of the highest caliber, before I became the world-renowned cryptozoologist you see in front of you today. I spent years with my dear ex-wife, Christy, doing paranormal investigations and things like that. It was good. Yes, I know a lot about Sasquatch. I am, I'm not. It's my humble brag. I am the world's leading cryptozoologist. Like, as far as in the skeptic realms go, people calling themselves cryptozoologists that are just woo peddlers who don't understand ecology are a dime a dozen. You won't find another one like me. So stick around for that, because that's what we're here for. And we do cover a lot of cryptids here. We got to branch out and cover some of this extraterrestrials and ghosts and stuff like that too. So my past as a paranormal researcher comes into play there. I've spent many nights walking around in a dark room with a camera, asking if anything is there to make sounds or do something. I've spent hours and hours at a Ouija board in a dark cemetery, things like that. I've done these things, right? So I've done some paranormal investigating, mostly as a teen, I guess you'd say. Now, nothing jades you faster than starting paranormal investigation when you're that young. Oh, you need to check on my relationship with Bigfoot. There's actually one of my thumbnails recently was the ultrasound from the baby. So if you tell Bigfoot that we need to work out some child support system, because I cannot raise the Sasquatch on my own. You know how much they eat, even if it's just half Sasquatch. But yeah, this so urban legends and such, local folklore, goes hand in hand. If you're going to be a paranormal investigator, you have to know, like, you have to do your research beforehand. And I always enjoyed that, but when I was researching the Clifton Bunny Man, there wasn't at the time a lot of images of it. It was just stories, and every now and then you'd find because forums were how we all, like, internet forums was how we kept connected. This was net 1.0, right? This was early days of the internet. But forums were the thing. Forums and chat rooms, but getting pictures uploaded onto them was a Herculean task and took some time. But some people would upload some images of it, so I knew vaguely what it looked like. But the amount of videos and stuff available now totally changes the game on what my opinions are on the Clifton Bunny Man, and changes how it appeared in my mind. And we'll talk about that as we look at it.
South of Centerville, east of Manassas, and north of Woodbridge. This is the kind of place that your grandparents would retire to. The kind of town with an ice cream shop within walking distance of everything. The kind of place you walk down the streets at night alone and leave your doors unlocked. That is, until the insane asylum opened up not far from town.
Now, I know a few people who live in the DC area. That close to the city, is it really safe to leave your doors unlocked? Let me know. In the rural suburbs, I don't call that rural. Of course, East Coast people must have a different definition of rural too, because Woodwoses. We drove out all our Bigfoot and werewolves from the UK, said Spooky. Woodwoses, yeah. There is what's her name? Deborah Hatswell, that's in the UK and talks about Bigfoots and dogmen and things like that. You can put some cream on your wood roses, spooky, and they'll go away. It takes a couple days. Just put cream on them every day as they get inflamed. Is it possible that Sasquatch is just a Wookiee that crash landed on Earth? There's a comic book that's about that. Is it? I guess it's an Indiana Jones comic book. That Indiana Jones discovers the crashed Millennium Falcon and the Pacific Northwest, and Chewbacca, because he's so long-lived, is responsible for the Wookiee sightings. Man, I'm getting all off track this morning. You all got me going wild. Feral.
One version of the story I heard starts in Clifton, but in 1904.
1904.
There's an insane asylum opening up not far from town. So, being filled with fear and misunderstanding, the local residents got it shut down. And all those poor people were taken by bus to Lorton Prison. Unfortunately, on the way, the bus cracked open like a bottle, spilling all those helpless patients all over the countryside. Fortunately, they were able to find all those patients.
You can get a cast of My Big Feet if you need a Sasquatch cast. I think a bunny man would have big feet too, though, right? Big giant bunny feet. You would think, like clown shoes. Bunnies would need like clown shoes. I'm out of cream. Can I use yogurt?
Except for one.
Scat.
The one that went missing was the escaped mental patient, Douglas Griffin. You see, after the crash, he wasn't just missing, he disappeared. Weeks passed, and according to the tale, Griffin was...
Yeah, if I was in a mental hospital, you know, even in the early 19th century, making an attempt at receiving health care, and then they're like, oh, you know what? No, actually, we're going to move you to prison. And then the bus crash, you bet your ass I'd go out in the woods to avoid prison.
He was able to survive on the local wildlife and taking refuge under the local Colchester Overpass Bridge, where a train would rocket past overhead daily. This went on for a while. Then one Halloween night, a group of kids were hanging out around town and decided to go to the old hangout spot under Colchester Road Bridge. But in the morning...
Where was your all's creepy hangout spot? I told you all we had Screamin' Johnny's. Like, it was an old 19th century burned out church in outside of Hannibal, Missouri, right? A lot of silly folklore about it, but none of it's true. It's all made up. In the 60s, though, they used to say you could hear some screaming out there at night, a woman screaming. That's where it got its name. But the alternative theory is, of course, that what we are hearing is a cougar that got stuck in the caves. There's a cave system out there called White Bear Caves. And there was a cougar stuck down in the cave screaming. That was the theory. I don't know if I buy that. Cougars don't tend to get stuck in caves. They're cats. They do pretty good at navigating dark spaces. I'm sure the cat was okay. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a transient cougar living out there, but I don't think it would have been stuck. But I digress. That was the urban legend, but the legends were that there was a ghost of a little boy. That it was a black church that was attacked by the KKK. That it was a church that burned down with everybody inside of it. All sorts of different folklore about it. But what was yours back in your little hometown? Tell me in the comments. Like let me know about it. Let's see. During my time in Maryland, I never heard of the Clifton Bunny Man. I heard about Queen Anne's penguin, though, and Chessie.
Not a single kid returned home. A local boy found each kid murdered, chopped to bits. And so, after the city's largest manhunt in history, they finally found Douglas Griffin, the escaped mental patient, in a bunny rabbit suit, covered in blood, probably stolen from one very unlucky trick-or-treater. So as the rumor goes, if you visit Bunnyman Bridge on Halloween night at midnight, you'll end up just like one of those kids, or whatever version of the story you heard. Because of the popularity of this ghost story, a lot of people in the area go to visit.
It takes a lot of audacity to be a serial killer with a set location and time to show up. That's some audacity. But you up it to 11. You turn it all the way up to 11 when you do that shit dressed as a white bunny, right? You crank it up. You've turned it from audacity to, I don't even know what's the next level. Tell me what word best describes that, besides insanity, of course, because it's the Bunny Man. Of course he's insane. We're all a little mad here. This is Cryptic Corner.
Bunnyman Bridge, especially during Halloween. Now,
Warning.
I'm not local to Virginia.
Warning, this is considered trespassing and police patrol the area. Yes, squatting in the area, like parking and getting out and walking around and stuff when there's no parking. Not allowed. I don't think you're supposed to walk through the bridge. I could be mistaken about that, though.
I'm also a transplant, but I'm no stranger to hearing local legends.
Hubris.
So I decided to do what most people do when they...
I'll go with hubris. Rar, Jason. Rar. Let's see. I've been an MD for 2 decades. I've never heard of any of those things. The old ice making factory and the local army base abandoned hospital, KW says. So yeah, those are hospitals are always like, especially abandoned or old hospitals are always like, oh, they're haunted. Well, if you're going to be a serial killer, may as well go all out. Yeah, people remember, like, no matter how ho-hum your work as a serial killer is, people will remember if you did it in a bunny man suit. Yeah, brazen would work. Gall, Jason Jacoby says. Now, I heard Chris Mallard say your last name Jacoby. I thought it was Jacoby because I had a supervisor named Jacoby at an old job. But if it's Jacoby, I apologize for saying it wrong. I don't think Echo and the Bunnyman are related. I think, well, aren't they named after this, maybe?
Here's something unbelievable. I did some research for myself. I mean, this couldn't be a true story, right? This is just a myth. It's not based on anything. It's just a story based on other people's stories that one person made up. So after a few clicks online, I found several...
Did we get rated by Chris Mallard? Because I see like we got a bunch of new people coming popping in. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for showing up. Jacoby, yeah. I mean, some people like to have their last, like some people, my last name, there's people with my same last name who pronounce it different. I pronounce it McCune. But there are a portion of people with my last name that do pronounce it McCoon. We're not like the same family, but they spelled the same, and it's but they pronounce it different.
Articles and videos catering to those who want to believe the unbelievable. Or in other words, fan fiction. Unfortunately, nearly all the videos and articles that share the story don't share the research. Until one such article claimed to be the truth. This written version, which is still up, by the way, you can check the video description for this link, entitled The Clifton Bunny Man by Timothy C. Forbes,
Castle of
posted
Spirits.
on a website called castleofspirits.com.
I remember, like you can look at the layout of this website and tell that this is Web 1.0 design. This is one of the resources that was available when I first started researching this. You notice things change a little bit and they fluctuate around. Like this one says in 1903, where the other previous story was 1904. It vaguely early 1900s.
Because this was uploaded in
The first decade of the 20th century, the first half of the first decade of the 21st century, if we want to pin it down.
1999, this makes it the oldest known reference to the Bunny Man on the internet. In this written version, it has several details, including names, crimes, and dates, leading all the way back to 1904, just like the version I heard.
Well, it said 1903 up
Except
there.
it goes all the way up to 1987. It seems the Bunny Man has been busy for a long time. Now, Mr. Forbes kindly thanks the meticulous record keeping of the old Clifton Library. So, me enjoying the story and wanting to make sure I got the history right, I called the Clifton Library to thank them and give them credit. Except, there is no Clifton Library.
Doom, doom, doom. Yeah, this is the big twist.
I couldn't find Timothy C. Forbes. So this website turned out to be just a huge prank. But that wasn't good enough for me. I wanted to see how deep this rabbit hole goes. And upon further investigation, I came across a man who was just as hungry for the truth as I was.
Are you guys hungry? Are you hungry for the truth, Hive? Are you hungry? Is your mouth watering for that sweet, sweet Bunny Man tea? Because we're about to spill it. We're about to spill the Bunny Man tea. Let's go.
In comes Brian A. Conley, a historian and archivist from Fairfax County Public Library, a real library this time. He took the torch of truth and never let it go out. And over a period of several years, he did his research and due diligence. In fact, he's still updating the story, making sure everything is just right. Only a couple days before I started recording.
Yes, going down the rabbit hole. I'm hungry for bagel. A bunny bagel? Give me some true fries and some true poppers. Ooh, Simply Secular Dave, don't get all lit now. I thought it would be a rabbit stew. Maybe. I'm hungry for some ramen, but it's far too early for ramen. I agree with that. I have some ramen, but I'm not going to have some right now. I might have some eggs and stuff when I get out of here.
Recording this on May 12th, did he update his website. None of this would have been possible, actually, without his scholarly efforts and painstaking detail in writing such a wonderful story.
They straight up stan this Brian guy on this channel. Like the rest of this video, we're 7 minutes in, is about his research, and like they're really into him, this librarian. Librarians are always like a good character though. Like the old stories, like Lovecraftian era stories, you know, when people were sending stuff into weird magazines, a lot of them were told from the perspective of the keeper of an old library, or somebody getting trained to replace the old librarian and things like that. And there's spooky stuff that goes on.
His story is linked below in the description and should be read immediately after viewing this. You owe it to yourself because it's excellent.
Now we have this here, so we can go and look. This is Fairfax County, the Bunny Man Unmasked. His blog about it goes into all the details. We're going to listen to this guy tell the story, though. We're not actually going to read this, but check it out. You know that I love myself some citations. And there's the Castle of Spirits story. Mm-hmm. Then we got all this stuff down here. So let's keep digging.
Excellent, and it's the truth. He asked several questions in his story, starting with the most important. Was it even based on anything true? The aspect of the story which gets the most attention were the alleged murders. According to Brian A. Conley, researching historical crimes can be very difficult, unless you have some very basic facts to begin with. Since police records are not available for casual review, and court records are indexed by the names of those involved, not location, not type of crime, he had to begin by checking local newspapers. Brian's most valuable resource was the Historical Newspaper Index. Now, this was run by Malcolm Richardson and Barbara Welch. For 10 years, compiled every newspaper in the area. Those two dedicated heroes, combined with the researching capabilities of a computer database, allowed Brian to research every possible connection from
I had to check
1872 all the way to 1973.
You see, nowadays you can go to the records or whatever, and you can Control F, and you can type in rabbit, bunny, that kind of stuff. You can type in Colchester overpass, see if anything has ever happened there. But back when you're going through the microfilm stuff, when you're sitting in the library, scrolling through all those old newspaper clippings, there's no search function to say, hey, find all references to bunny, find all references to rabbit. There's no way to do that. You have to go through and look. You have to go through and browse these old news articles, some faded and some that run on for pages and pages about stuff that you don't understand because it's period related, things like that. And you had to go through, and I said we did a paranormal investigation. This was the kind of stuff that was involved in it, right? Sometimes the courthouse will have dates for you of sales and purchases and stuff like that of properties near the location, right? If you're looking at the haunted house, haunted bridge, anything like that, you can look at the property sales of the location, and you'll generally have some kind of crime reference that you can go back to, and that's one way to find out if a murder has actually happened on a location, because they have to disclose that information when you buy property.
What was the first word he searched for? Murder.
Murder.
Now, even though Fairfax County was a farming community until the 1970s, there were over 550 mentionings of killings Brian could find. While there were some gruesome murders dating back to the early 1900s in Fairfax, none of the murders were in any way related to an axe-wielding, psychopathic bunny. Brian hit a dead end. Was this story even as old as that website stated?
You'd have to want to believe that there was a bunny murdering people. No, there was a bunny. Maybe there was a bunny. Maybe he just didn't murder anybody. Let's go on.
Was this just another Polybius? A rumor about a rumor that wasn't even based on folklore?
We covered Polybius Halloween. Has it been 2 years ago? Let me see. Polybius. I'm going to go to my channel and we're going to find out how long ago. Polybius. It's like an arcade game. There it is. Little arcade of horror. That was... When did you release? Tell me. Oh, it's only been... It was 2023, November 2023. So yeah, about 2 years ago.
But a modern lie posted to a website?
Or not quite 2 years ago.
Brian was quiet. He kept his head down and kept researching. And then one day, an actual breakthrough occurred. After nearly 8 years of research, he finally got his lead. there was a paper from the Washington Post from November 11th, 2000. It stated that there was an interesting collection of Maryland folklore ranging from the 1950s to the 1990s. Students at three Maryland universities collected, researched, and transcribed numerous local legends. In these papers, in these documents.
I love this. This is like a chronology of the development of folklore in the metropolitan Maryland area. I'd probably love to just go through this folklore and of fraternal life, fraternity rites of initiation. So there's there's all sorts of different angles that they're taking this approach from.
One story from 1973 stood out. A student from the University of Maryland, Patricia Johnson, had a paper titled The Bunny Man. This paper had stories from kids aged 15 to 18 from Prince George's County. Now, in order for someone to get on this paper and publish it,
you would think a bunny suit would be a poor murder suit. Being fuzzy, it would absorb blood and be hard to clean. Yeah, that's what I was saying. There's the audacity to say, "Hey, I'm gonna show up here on this date at this time, and I'm gonna murder some mofo's if they're here." There's some audacity there, but it doesn't even come close to the audacity of doing that shit in a bunny suit with an axe. Right? That's next level. The weird thing is he kills people with an axe, but then he strings them up. So, no, if he strings them up piece by piece, and it's urban legends, though.
The students had to have three things. One, the story had to take place in an urban setting. Two, it had to exist prior to her project. And number three, it had to have appeared in print as truth. This was it. This was the important claim he'd been looking for. Sure, you can post anything you want on the internet.
What constitutes as in print, though, is the question, because you can be like, I posted this on my freaking blog, so there, it's in print. Yeah, all is good on the Western Front.
But a newspaper, especially in those days, is a far cry from modern news websites. Brian was freaking out. He was sweating with anticipation. He flipped the page.
You're putting a lot of pressure on Brian here, guy. Brian was just like super chill about researching this. Did Brian say he was sweating? Like when I was researching cryptozoology and paranormal stuff, I was never sweating. I was never nervous. Most of it's really boring. Like I said, going through the old newspaper clippings and things like that. Even today, with the resources I have available to do my research, it's usually pretty mundane. It's usually pretty, yeah, nothing to see here. When you find something, yeah, it's exciting. It's not like you're not nervous that you're not going to find it, because the anticipation is that you're not going to find evidence of paranormal or supernatural phenomena. There's just that's the standard expectation. So if you do find something, a lead, it's good stuff.
It was gone. Missing. The one page that actually mattered in this set of documents was not there. His grail was gone. He was extremely frustrated. With any hope of quick resolution gone, Brian read and reread the original pages he still had, hoping to glean some piece of information that'll unlock this secret. He had 54 variations of the story. Brian added up what was consistent between each story. 14 of them had different locations. 18 of them involved a bunny man chasing or frightening people, usually children, with an axe.
Oh, yeah.
14 of them told about attacks on cars.
That's how you bunny man. The bunny man sounds a lot like Goat Man with the way he attacks on cars with an axe. Like, you all know about, like, the Goat Man, right? He's Like he's like the bunny man. Do I need to cover the goat man too? There's a few different goat man. Maybe I'll do a goat men video, and we'll cover the the Texas one and the Maryland one, or the I think is it Maryland? It might be Maryland too. But yeah, it's a person with a goat head though, which is a little different than someone in a bunny suit. But oh yes, the goat man, goat men, because there's more than one in two different places. Goat man. Yeah, you ever sweat so hard you're researching?
9 had attacked a couple in a car. 5
Five
accused the bunny man
Lovers Lane attacks. Mm-hmm.
and of vandalism on homes and buildings. Only 3 mentioned murder. Based on the widespread geographic locations and the significant variation represented in the tales, Johnson actually concluded that the bunny man was nothing more than an urban legend. In short, he didn't exist.
Wow.
There was just too much variation, too much interpretation. Why did one story end one way and the other one end completely different? No. No, it can't end this way, right? Locals only wouldn't make a story about something that ends like this. This is boring. Yeah, you're right.
So this is where things kind of ended for me when I was researching this. Again, back in the 90s, but I keep saying 90s. It was probably early 2000s. I learned about it in the 90s, but it's the early 2000s. You don't ever hear much about Mouse Man. Well, there's a Pig Man. There's a Pig Man in somewhere in the UK. There's a Mothman, of course. Mothman is the sexiest cryptid. I will not hear any dissenting opinions on that. I can't have that in my space.
The story doesn't end here. Brian is a smart man, and he knew the truth could live and die with one source.
Do it,
He
Brian.
kept looking. A fire still burned. After rereading Johnson's paper several
Brian.
times, he noticed something. She heard the tale first around Halloween in 1970. Having no better leads, he began to search for that missing paper from the Washington Post. Then, after an undetermined amount of time,
That they're doing well with their soundscape and atmosphere here. I'm just gonna say it's giving me the feels. Thank you.
Brian found it. Bold text at the top of the page screamed out, "Man in bunny suit sought in Fairfax."
Doom, doom, doom.
He'd done it. He found solid evidence. No flimsy high school rumors, no internet attention-seeking lie, no clickbait, no missing paper. He found the White Rabbit. In the article, it reads,
Fairfax County Police said yesterday they are looking for a man who likes to wear a white bunny rabbit costume and throw hatchets through car windows. Air Force Academy cadet Robert Bennett told police that shortly after midnight last Sunday, he and his fiancée were sitting in a car in the 5400 block of Guinea Road when a man dressed in a white suit with long bunny ears ran from the nearby bushes and shouted, "You're on private property and I have your tag number." The rabbit threw a wooden-handled hatchet through the right front car window, the first-year cadet told police. As soon as he threw the hatchet, the rabbit skipped off into the night. Police said Bennett and his fiancée were not injured. Police say they have the hatchet, but no other clues in this case.
So, okay, here we have a police report, right? Yes, I have heard of Crybaby Bridge. Yes, I have. Maybe we need to cover that too. We may do like a bridges episode at some point. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in. We've done recently we did like amusement parks, like haunted amusement parks. So yeah, it's definitely on the table. We may bridges. We may do lighthouses. We did ghost ships before. Fata Morgana.
Now, if you pay attention here, they said they had the hatchet, which means there's physical evidence. Now, I looked online. This is not in Brian's story, but there are pictures of this axe. I'm not 100% certain this is real. However, I know that people claim...
Look at that thing, though. That, like, dude threw it through... You kill somebody with that for sure. Dude threw it through the passenger side window at some kids. Could you imagine? Talk about the audacity. This is the audacity. When you see somebody dressed in a bunny suit, I wouldn't fuck with them. They don't have... There's no regulation there, right? They don't give a fuck, like, at all. They will throw a hatchet through your goddamn window. Don't mess with this person. When you see somebody dressed in a bunny suit in public, at night especially, in the middle of nowhere, come on now. It's time to drive away. Time to drive away. Not to argue with them about trespassing. Time to go.
It's real. Now, what he does say, though, is...
Yeah, when I began this project, the aspect that puzzled me the most was the bunny suit. I expected to find that the legend was spawned by an event that was strange or noticeable in some way, but
notable.
I never suspected the bunny man was really a bunny man.
And then this bombshell. There was a second appearance. The rabbit reappears.
A man wearing a furry rabbit suit with ears appeared again on Guinea Road in Fairfax County Thursday night. Police reported this time wielding an axe and chopping away at a roof support on a new house. Less than 2 weeks ago, a man wearing what was described as a rabbit suit accused two persons in a parked car of trespassing and heaved a hatchet through a closed window of the car at 5400 Guinea Road. They were not hurt.
Okay.
Thursday night's rabbit, wearing a suit described as gray, black, and white, was spotted a block away at 5307 Guinea Road. Paul
Okay.
Phillips, a private security guard for a construction company,
We're getting names, too. Check this out.
said he saw the rabbit standing on the front porch of a new but unoccupied house. I started talking to him, Phillips said, and that's when he started chopping. All you people trespass around here. Phillips said that the rabbit told him as he whacked 8 gashes into the pole. If you don't get out of here, I'm gonna bust you on the head. Phillips said he walked back to his car to...
Yikes on bikes. Yes, you do take that shit seriously. Sounds like somebody maybe who was like struggling with urbanization of their homeland.
get his handgun, but the rabbit, carrying the long-handled axe, ran off into the woods.
There we have it. 2 documented appearances by a bunny-suited figure in the same Fairfax County community. Was this the...
Speaking of bunny-suited figures who appear from the forest with an axe and then disappear just as mysteriously. Good morning. Good morning, Chris Mallard. It's your nemesis. It's the bunny. Duck season, wabbit season. So, yeah, there's that.
The Bunny Man? Or just copycats acting out stories they had heard from somewhere else? Brian returned to Johnson's papers for clues. As mentioned earlier, 14 of her tales mention a couple parked in a car being attacked. But 9...
I mean, that's your typical Lover's Lane story. The Goat Man is very much, yeah, as Rainbow said, the Goat Man. The Goat Man is very much a Lover's Lane. Mothman started off as a Lover's Lane cryptid.
of these specifically mention a hatchet being thrown into the car. Of the 5 mentioning vandalism...
Now, the Goat Man and the Bunny Man share a common tool, that axe. Yeah, so...
2 describe columns being chopped. There was another revealing story by G. Taylor, the 17-year-old girl, who remarked,
I think it was last year or maybe before that. I don't know. I came home from school and I was listening to the news. I had just gotten in, and I heard that there was a man and a woman sitting in a car. It could have been 2 teenagers, but they were just parked and all. And all of a sudden, they looked up, and there was this bunny, just this giant bunny ran out of the woods, from behind the trees and all. And he ran in front of the car, and he had a hatchet, and he threw it through the car and just turned around and went back away.
See, now that sounds like a retelling of that newspaper report that they just read.
And they were just shocked.
Now, Miss Taylor goes on, but the important parts are: 1, she identifies television news as her source of information. 2, she accurately relates the hatchet being thrown into the occupied teenager's car and accusing people of trespassing and police involvement. Now, the third thing she states is it went on for a couple weeks and then stopped. Lastly, she identifies the time frame. The October 22nd news story is clearly the origin of the tale told. Moreover,
In 1970.
although the story had mutated noticeably in 22 years, many of Johnson's 53 other versions contain recognizable elements of the October 1970 incidents. Newspaper accounts, oral reports, they can all...
So, I mean, it sounds like this is the thing. That's what I was saying about how it wasn't the same when I was researching this, because the conclusion and the story was about the guy, 2 men escaping on the prison bus, and one of them killed the other one, and they found that guy's body but never found the other guy. They would always find rabbit skins hanging all over the place because he would live off of eating rabbits and kill them and leave their bones and fur everywhere. And that's why it was called the Bunny Man. So it becomes a completely different story. Now you got a guy in a bunny suit, right?
shed a lot of light on something, but they can't really be trusted to be completely accurate. Brian needed something a little more...
I would need to learn to axe throw. I used to be pretty good at throwing knives. It has to be a good balanced knife, though. And it matters where you're standing and everything is the important part.
trustworthy. The Fairfax County Police Department has no official record of the October 18th assault on Robert Bennett and his fiancée, but they do have an investigation report.
Let's see. Hammers and hatchets thrown through a car window are not retrieved after the first time. They would need replaced. This would make a second one new and not dented and sandblasted as the one in the picture. So the one in the picture is allegedly the original, the very first hatchet that he ever threw, right? And whatever he did with it before that, whether it was sandblasted and whether that's authentic. It's on the, I mean, it's on their, he gave a disclaimer saying he wasn't sure that it was actually that one. Expert axe thrower, it could be a crazy lumberjack. I'm a lumberjack and I'm all right. I'm the Birdman. You're the Birdman of Chernobyl. There's a Birdman of Chernobyl. Have I covered that? I don't know. Did I cover the Birdman of Chernobyl? I don't think I've covered that yet. No, the only thing I've covered about Chernobyl was the creatures of Chernobyl, which is about the Fallout beasts, the Fallout monsters. You know, we're almost done
relating
with this.
to the October 29th vandalism incident. Although the FCPD is not required to release any information about misdemeanor offenses, they kindly supplied a redacted copy of the report for this project.
Guess it was long enough ago they didn't care.
The investigation report confirms the basics of the event as told in October 31st of the Washington Post article. At 10:30 p.m. on October 29th, 1970, 6 officers responded to the 5307 Guinea Road for a subject dressed as a rabbit with an axe. The officers found no rabbit, and the case was turned over to investigator W.L. Johnson of the Criminal
Yeah, trees. I've seen you throw some different stuff. I guess I've seen you throw knives too.
Investigation Bureau. Johnson began with a visit to the construction offices of the Kings Park West Division on October 31st, but he found no rabbit. Now, after months of this investigation, it turned out empty. Nobody was charged. Nobody even knew where to start. He says in his following summary on March 14th, 1971,
After a very extensive investigation into this and all the other cases of the same nature, it is still unsubstantiated as to whether or not there was really a white rabbit. The only people who could have seen this so-called white rabbit have been children of rather young ages in the complaint in this case. Upon interviewing everyone in this case that may have had knowledge of any incidences concerning a white rabbit, there has been no significant information uncovered that would lead to the identity of the person or persons that were posing as a white rabbit. This case will be marked as inactive.
so who was the Bunny Man? Now, we might never know exactly what his motivations were.
Well, I mean, he sounds like he thought he didn't like trespassers and thought that he owned the property, but obviously he didn't because there were houses being built on it and stuff.
But there are a lot of clues in all these reports and all these newspaper articles. The Bunny Man accused Robert Bennett and his fiancée of trespassing and launched an axe into a window. We know that on October 29th, the Bunny Man told security guard Paul Phillips,
All you people trespass around here.
so it seems that the individual was disturbed by the development in the area. Now, in 1970, there was a lot of homes being built. Until the Second World War, Fairfax County was just farms. With more people joining the government, a lot more houses need to be built. This man probably...
I mean, it was the spread of, urbanization around Washington, D.C. People wanted to work in the city but not have to live in the city. So they call urban sprawl now. But I don't know if I would consider this part of the country as rural anyway. At least not by my standard, but my standard of what's rural is a little bit higher. I think that if there's less than 25 miles between locations, that's arbitrary, of course, I literally wouldn't consider it rural, but because that's a it's a 15-20 minute drive. It's not a thing between two locations. And being in a rural setting, I like the idea of the Bunny Man was always presented as a rural setting, even though it's an urban legend. It definitely is more urban.
He watched helplessly while everything around him changed. Maybe that also changed him. But why the bunny suit? Could he have been enjoying himself a little too much at a community party? Maybe he wandered off and, in a rage, decided to pick on some people, maybe having more fun than he was. Not even 2 weeks after the first appearance of the Bunny Man, schoolyards lit up like wildfire with stories. Children trying to scare other children. Adults.
Yeah, far enough away from the next town that you can see the lights just over the horizon. Just enough to know how isolated you really are.
Fearing for the lives of their friends and family. By the time Patricia Johnson at the University of Maryland started her work 2.5 years later, the story had already changed rapidly. I'm not sure how the bridge got involved, but that being said, everybody's story is different.
See, and there was also the idea that he would hang people from their necks on this bridge. And when I was hearing about that, I'm like, it's just a bridge with it's like a bridge with, girders and stuff. And he's hanging people from the girders. When I look at this, it's more of a tunnel. This is what I would call this a tunnel. I wouldn't even call it a bridge. Like, a bridge, when I think a bridge is built, generally speaking, is built over something. and tunnel is built through something, and this is, to me, this is built through. It's built through the embankment for the railroad tracks, but nonetheless, it's still a tunnel in my opinion. And I'm not sure how you would string someone up in this tunnel.
What's your story? What did you hear? Because I'm sure it's different than mine, but I'd like to hear it anyways. So this has been the story of Bunnyman Bridge. Yeah, thanks a lot, you guys. Bye.
Alright, yeah, this is like locals only podcast. And haven't done anything for a couple years. But they have other murder mysteries and urban legends and stuff like that they've covered in the past. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, I'm gonna give them a sub because I just reviewed their content and I thought it was their telling was pretty good. Yeah. Keep up the good work, even though it's been a couple years since you put anything out. But let's see. And we talked about this research here. Okay. Now on the on the Wikipedia article, it has a picture of that axe. So yeah, you can see that the head was at least sandblasted, and it says Plum. I guess that's the brand. So, like, this is allegedly the hatchet that went through the window and was recovered by police. But I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So, that's Bunnyman Bridge. Another pin in our map of cryptid locations. Let's look at how the Earth's looking so far. I do a lot of focus in the eastern half of the United States. Look at that. That's where probably almost half or more than half of my locations are, is in the eastern half of the United States. Pretty, especially look right there, around New York. A lot of folklore and fake lore from New York, but spinning the globe around. We've also got a cluster in the UK there. And just, some Africa is definitely underrepresented. I know there's been more coverage in Africa than this. I don't know if I've not put pins in when I needed to. But we're going to break down some African cryptids too. Don't you worry. We will sink our teeth into that. India has some cryptids too. Some spooky stuff like that. And Australia, New Zealand, got just as many. Actually, New Zealand has more pins than Australia, which is weird because I feel like we're in Australia all the time. I guess we haven't covered the Yowie or the Bunyip. We just cover a lot of thylacine because I love thylacines. I can't help it. They're awesome. And plus, we get to watch Jamie from Tantanoola. We do have on the polls, though, it's been on there for a while, the Queensland tiger, which lived in this forested area right here, I believe, in this mountain range that runs along down here. I'm not sure what portion of this mountain range, but we will find out when we research that. Let me see, what else do we got? Because I want to look at our polls real quick before I close things out. Actually, you know what? Let me close out the live. And then let me close it out for Cryptic Corner production because this isn't going to matter to them. Thank you for sticking around. And Bunnyman, let me see here, actually. Thank you for sticking around with me and digging into the Bunnyman Bridge. What do you think of this folklore? Is it based in truth? Is there anything else? Y'all can re-add the don't go command, Jason. I'll re-add it this week if I remember. Remind me. But the Cryptic Corner we have coming up next week, we're going to do a poll, so please partake in that. But thank you for sticking around, and please remember to be kind. Take care, and we'll see you next time. All right, back to this, because I do want to talk about this real quick about the polls I'm doing. So I do a poll. Start doing one every week on the community tab, right? And I want to make sure that everybody's aware of their voting on that, because I get about 20-ish votes on things. But so we have the Hawaiian hairy hominids, the Queensland tiger, and Canada's Ogopogo on the menu right now. There will be a fourth cryptid added to that list. So what could it be? Wait and see. But you can go out and vote every week on that. And I also do a vote for the Weird With It segment, which is going to be Pyrokinesis today. But we also got freaking orbs in 2025 about those psychic spies and scaling the ice wall listed out there as well, that are going to continue to be on the poll until they get removed. So make sure you're voting. Make sure you're getting out there and voting. I'm going to take an intermission. I'm at a coffee, but I'm thinking about switching over to something else to drink. So yeah, vote for Ogopogo if you want Ogopogo to win. Go vote. Vote for your favorite. But when I get back, we are going to learn to do some pyrokinesis. You're not going to want to miss this. Do you want to be able to control fire with your brain? Do you want to be able to whoosh, whoosh your enemies? Look, we're coming up on rough times. So you stick around, because you never know when you're going to be able to need to light someone on fire with your brain. I'll be back with you shortly.
Satanism. To most, it conjures images of medieval black masses or sinister deeds done for the devil. Must expose all the evil being done in the name of Satan.
Hello, my beauties and bees, and Welcome to the latest installment of Getting Weird With It. And we're going to get super weird with it today, but before I get into that too much, I do want to clarify to Kip Davis, yes, that is a very, very young Bob Larson. A very young Bob Larson indeed. I'm glad that you noticed that. Anyway, today on Getting Weird With It, we're going to get super weird because we are going to learn how to do pyrokinesis. Pyrokinesis is, you could probably call it an offshoot of telekinesis, which is the ability to control physical matter with your mind, right? Pyrokinesis specifically is the ability to cause combustion with your mind, or to control combustion in general. So, that is what we're going to be looking into today. And I found like this little playlist. I don't know how long it's going to take us to get through it, but we're going to learn these techniques. We're going to go, we're going to go through all these little steps and tips and tricks. That's not what I wanted to be. There I am. All their little tips and tricks, and we'll see what comes of it. I didn't mean to go back to Cryptic Corner. Yeah, we can set Bob's pants on fire. But these will be important survival skills as democracy as we know it crumbles under our feet. You will be able to use your pyrokinesis skills to defend yourself, or to light your smokes in your concentration camp cell when they take away our matches. You'll be able to use your brain to light things on fire. Who wouldn't want to be able to do that? So, first thing I'll need to do is bring some fire up. Yes, I have some fire. All right. Step 2, we are going to pull some videos up and see what type of techniques are going to work best for the Hive. All right, here we go. We're going to start with Trevor 7. And I put my fire up higher than he does so that you guys can see it.
Happy Summer Solstice 2014. This is Trevor 7, creator of HowToTelekinesis.com and a student of AvatarEnergyMaster.com. And this will be a pyrokinesis demonstration, extinguishing a flame. Hope you enjoy the video. Alright, finally. I've been working on this one for quite a while, and I'm going to use matches, and I'm going to do this first demonstration.
I'm not using matches.
Start to finish, all the way from the top to bottom.
I just got a candle.
These are just ordinary store-bought matches. And
Trevor's got me,
I'm
though.
going to light one, and then just let you see what it looks like, how they naturally behaves before I extinguish one.
So if you've never seen a match before, this is a match. And what you do is you take the colored head part of it and you strike it against a rough patch on the box, and it ignites it into a flame, which burns down on a wooden stick of balsa wood.
And kind of got to be careful how I do this. I can't look at it too much or think too much, or I'll put it out. So I kind of have to look away and bear with me here. I know it's exciting watching a match burn, but what's the point of
I don't
doing the
want to
demonstration?
accidentally put my candle out.
Control per se. And in hindsight, I'm kind of wishing I'd have wore my mask, because I know people are going to be saying I'm blowing it out with my nose and everything. Everybody thinks I have a bionic nose or something.
See, I can't blow mine out with my nose because it's protected by a jar. See? But we'll see what I can make happen with my mind. Can you all see the flames? Probably barely, huh? Probably just barely.
While you're waiting here, just take your hand and hold it down in front of in your lap there, and blow some air out of your nose and see how much you can blow around there. I mean, people think I'm like bionic nose man or something.
Well,
okay.
buddy, there's a reason why your audio doesn't line, or why there's no audio for your telekinesis videos. So we can't hear how hard you're breathing, because I can breathe hard enough to snuff out my candles here with my nose without y'all even seeing it. I can go. And if you hadn't been able to see or to hear my breathing, you would have thought, oh yeah, Bree just put that candle out with her mind power, right? Just to clarify, there's no sound on your video.
Okay, here's the first demonstration. And basically just squeezing the smoke out of them.
Now, I finished my coffee and I moved on to Dr. Pepper, so I'm still consuming copious amounts of caffeine, unhealthy amounts of caffeine, but this is to help my telekinesis. I don't know if you knew this, but the brain engines in your head are run on caffeine and or cocaine. You can run them on either one. So to properly do telekinesis, pyrokinesis specifically, you need cocaine. Did we just get memberships? Hell yeah! Thank you, Kalasia. Who got one? Let's see, 10 altogether. Welcome to the Hive. Welcome to the Hive. You can now Bigfoot stomp your way right across my my chat for everybody who got a membership. We got New Way Yahweh. Okay, yeah, welcome to the Hive. Dr. Nick Riviera. Hello. Emily Wood. Heckleck. Tina Jones. Anarchic Fox. James Nordhoff. And Bryce Vining. Welcome to the Hive. Yep. Jason Jacoby showing you how to do it. That's how you Bigfoot stomp across the way. Hells yeah.
The match is what I'm thinking about doing. I used a lot of different techniques, but the kind of squeezing it, I don't know. I just imagine an orb around the bulb. Around the flame. Then I just squeeze the bulb until it compresses the flame down to nothing. So it's just kind of
sometimes.
Before I was trying to
if I'm controlling a big flame, I'll use both hands. I do the Jean Grey pose. Or I guess it's more of a Sue Storm pose, because Sue did it first, which is an invisible woman, but she made force fields. She didn't just control things with her mind, but she could put force fields around things and make them float around and stuff. So she basically had telekinesis too. Sue Storm did, just not in the traditional way that you think of it. But yeah, I like that pose better. That feels more. But honestly, if I could use superpowers in any way, I'd love to be able to do it like Storm. Like Storm from the X-Men.
Suffocate it by holding my breath, or depriving myself of breath. And actually, this works on the inhale or the exhale. It's just the compression of it. I mean, you still have to have the empathy with the flame and everything to actually get the connection, but it's basically just, like you see what I'm doing there. That's what I look like I'm doing is what I imagine doing, squeezing the flame out. So, anyway, somebody asked for this way back in I don't know when it was. There was still snow on the ground. And I was having a heck of a time with it. And
so easy to
I still can't do it with a candle. I have to hold it in my hand so I can get my intention.
Bro, I can do it. I can do it with a candle. I thought you were the master. Maybe I need to start my own website and teach people how to do telekinesis the right way, because I'm schooling you at the moment. I'm doing it with a candle in a container. So easy. If I didn't have the sound going, it would just look like I'm doing this. Like I'm sitting here doing this and making it go up and down. I'm breathing on it, and it just making it flicker down, and then I stop breathing on it, it fires back up, and I can control my hand to match to go with that flow. It's
the match. But it's kind of neat how it works, and perseverance pays off once again. Oh man, it took me forever to get the hang of this. And I know people are going to say, oh, you're blowing it out with your nose. So hang tight here. I'm going to do a couple here for the skeptics. Since
I'm the
didn't wear my
skeptic.
mask, I figure I better do something where, I mean, you can tell my nose isn't pointing at it. But anyway, there's one demonstration incomplete. And here's
Homie.
one for the skeptics, for the people who think I'm blowing on it. Look at there. Had to be a curve shot, wouldn't it?
Or
there you go. And one more time, up close and personal. There's the match. You see my nose pointing down at my lap. You see my mouth is closed. And outsy. Okay. Now back to work.
Okay, so I would also, if I was doing this with matches, what I would do to mimic that is I would have a couple of matches that had the sticks coated in Vaseline. Just a real thin coat of Vaseline will stop them from burning. At least it'll make it so it burns down to barely anything. To which even the slightest slow motion will put it out. But that would be my methodology when pursuing this grift to show that I wasn't breathing on it. I'd get another match, coat it in Vaseline.
The rest of this is basically just me doing this over and over and over again because it's fun and I'm so happy I'm able to do it. This one is a stubborn one there. Yeah, it's not always smooth as glass, but if you just concentrate and keep faith on it, and boy, I keep focused on, squeezing that smoke out of that match. I don't want to think about the flame too much because when I get to think about the flame increases. So I just, that flame is not there. Just squeeze that flame out of there, guys.
Stupid.
It's pretty neat. Anyway, I can tell you how to do it, but there's nothing going to beat a bunch of practice, and that's basically how we learn all
I'm
this stuff,
practicing
guys.
and surpassing you right now,
But
my dude.
It can be done, and I'm happy to say I can finally do it. All right. Well, I think there's a few more here.
Trevor, come see me. I'll teach you. I can give you a class.
Here. And when it comes to pyrokinesis, it's one of those things where telekinesis will help you, just like with all the other elements. If you learn that telekinesis, the art of
I'm pretty sure you can do that, Jason. I'm pretty sure you already have that ability. I think that having eyes is the only prereq. Aside from extinguishing safety matches just fucking go out, right? Like if you don't feed it the stick and you're holding it upright, it'll burn out on its own. I want to see the flames increase. Yeah, I want to like. How do you do that shit? Yeah.
empathy. That's what it's all about, guys. You got to have empathy with your target before you can make a connection. And then, your intentions. Not only am I squeezing my hand, but I'm also holding my intentions in my heart and in my mind, and squeezing all that. I mean, it's a combination of a lot of different things all into one fluent motion. But I'm happy to say I got her figured out, and I appreciate you guys watching. This is Trevor7. Good day.
Actually,
God bless.
It being in the jar makes it easier because I can when I breathe out, it hits that back side of this and comes back in towards the flame. So it actually makes it easier doing a candle in a jar than a match, probably. I don't know though, because it's contained, so it also makes it so I can't sit here at eye level with it and pretend I'm controlling. I guess I got to get above it to be able to push air in between here. Just me talking, and that's the thing too that he doesn't exemplify here. It's just using your voice and the air vibrations and puffs of air from your mouth when you make certain sounds makes the flame dance. It's like how many we're 2 or 3 generations from candle dependence and oil lamp dependence, and people have already forgotten what it's like to exist in the presence of an open flame.
And namaste.
Dude, hold on. Let me making an ice cube float around, are ya? The way you do that is you take the filing, like if you crush up cereal, like a cereal with lots of iron in it, like Cheerios or something, right? And you crush it up and you pull the metal out of it, the iron, right? Pull that out of it and put it in, and mix it with water and put it in an ice cube with a high enough ratio. You can do the magnet thing under the table and actually make the ice cube move around. The Pyrokinesis is the favorite, yeah, because wind. What's that? He's an airbender. Pyro. We'll have to revisit this guy. Oh my gosh. Look at this stuff he's doing. He does all the kinesis. You're right. All the kinesis. He's an avatarenergymaster.com. Alright, before we move on from this guy though, let's see. Because he had a website that he put up. That was mentioned. howtotelekinesis.com. And this is the home page. Oh, Robert. His name's Robert, I guess, not Trevor. Whichever. He's got like a fam and stuff. Everything I teach and demonstrate here is 100% real and easy to learn. Totally free. Play the compilation video and then check out my simple 1, 2, 3 method for learning psychokinesis, including aerokinesis, atmokinesis, biokinesis, hydrokinesis, pyrokinesis, and telekinesis, and more. You may have already visited some other TK sites and seen and heard the unusual telekinesis jibber jabber about using extreme mental focus and how faith is the key to success and so on. These are only half truths, and if you've spent any length of time employing these methods, you probably noticed that by now. I'm going to give you the rest of the puzzle, and many of you will be doing telekinesis effortlessly in a matter of days or weeks. Could you imagine if people could really just do telekinesis? How many people would capitalize on it? You can't have something like that can't exist in reality, and then also not be utilized in public life, right? I mean, if the hydrokinesis was possible, right, we'd have these people on fire departments, for instance. You know, having a water bender on your fire department is going to be hella helpful. Having a fire bender or pyrokinetic on your firefighting team would be optimal, right? But let's see what we got next, because this is Master Jiang. Master Jiang washed his hands and walked to the demo place. And you have to hold his hands.
Are we convinced that there's nothing in my hands?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna dry myself a little bit on your shirt. Is it okay? Okay.
No, I would say no. He already started.
Okay, so this is what we call pine straw. It's like the leaves from the pine trees from up here.
Okay.
Please go and get a bunch of it and bring it over here.
Aduceți o bucată de acolo. Bring some. Domnul Filimon.
Yes, from the below at your feet. Handful and put it on Shifu's hand.
Watching for sleight of hand stuff.
Even more. Okay?
Because there's places where you can see he's holding something in his other hand, especially before the scene here. But I think he's past.
If I'm able to do this,
I believe he's past whatever it was to his hand underneath the straw. So I don't know if it was a lighter or just something that makes a little spark. The same tiny lizard comes out every day to chill on the same spot and stare at one of my cats, and it's cracking me up every freaking day without fail. It's probably the sunning spot. Is it a nice warm rock that it's laying on? Yeah, fire bending is hard. I honestly think he doesn't have like a lighter with fuel. He has one of those little spark things, but to make a soft clicking sound, which is why he's going "Hey!" to cover up the clicking sound he's got going on under there.
What he says is it has taken fire. He wants to make. I'm sorry. Oh.
Whoa. Whoa. Wow.
Okay, so this takes a lot out of me, so I appreciate the applause.
Whoa.
See, after you convince these people like this, you can be like, now give me all your money. And they're like, no. And you're like, hoi! Hoi! To them, and they'll freak out and think you're trying to set them on fire.
Whoa.
Hoi! 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 I think you're trying to give birth. MasterZiang.com. If y'all want to learn this technique, if y'all want to learn the constipation sound method to starting fires.
Whoa.
You're gonna plot a guitar and be like, and here's Wonderwall.
Okay. So to 发功 for living
I think
things.
it was telling them to clap because they don't speak English. I don't know, Kalasia, but yeah, clap for your own tricks.
It's one thing, but to generate this kind of heat for an inanimate object to set it on fire, it takes a lot.
Pentru a face facii către un organism viu este destul de
Can Master Jiang explain why he had to have a hand underneath the brush? If he was starting the fire with his brain, why do you need a hand under there?
Există puțin ci, dar pentru a lucra cu ceva care este mort, materie moartă,
Marshmallows.
și a influența necesită mult mai mult ci pentru a consumat.
So Sufo hopes that you understand why he doesn't do this every day.
Și vrea să înțelegeți de ce nu poate să facă asta.
My unfinished tale is dropping super chats. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm letting it roll up so it'll show me how much it was, so I can announce it. It was $6.66 for 666. My unfinished journey. Sorry, not my unfinished tale. But thank you so much, says Hail Nero, Hail Hive Science, and down with shady grifters making funny noises.
Okay?
Master Jiang.
Okay.
Jiang fooling nobody. Actually, he is fooling people. He's fooling all these people.
It's not that I give every patient who comes to see me, let them see something like this. I consider you guys who've come from so far away.
Patient. This guy is claiming he's practicing medicine. He's calling the people that come see him patients. Does he do psychic surgery? Do you guys know what psychic surgery is? Should I cover psychic surgery? Should I report on that? I swear I remember this. I was talking to BB about this. I even found the playlist I saved. Do you all remember me covering the African charm grifters that sell the charms that's supposed to make you bulletproof, and they make the videos with them shooting each other and it not working? Do you all remember me covering that? If yes, please say yes in the side chat. If no, say no. Actually, you know what? I can end this poll about the Bunny Man, and we can do a poll about that. Because I couldn't find it, but I remember doing it, and I might have dreamed that I did it. But do you remember me covering bulletproof charms? If not, I have to cover that. I have a playlist ready for it and everything. I remember yes, do you remember that? Good. I know what psychic surgery is. I remember James Randy did some. Yeah. We'll talk about psychic surgery if y'all don't know. Is that where you replace a calcified pineal gland with one that's has no fluoride? Yeah, well, you gotta align the chakras on it first. It's more complicated than that. No, I don't know. Psychic surgery is like removing sickness from somebody, and they usually remove it and say it's this stone was your sickness. Yeah.
Family, and this kinds of things are for family. They're not for everyone.
Logan, you do remember? The fact that anybody remembers it at all, I couldn't find the episode, because if I did do that, I never cut it down as a standalone Weird With It episode, and I'd like to release it, but I couldn't find it. So if you know what date it was on or what episode it was on, can you shoot it to me or DM it to me? Because I looked for it for hours last night, couldn't find it. Like, maybe I dreamt that I covered that. But yeah, it had the guy with the rubbing the knife on his belly and stuff like that. And yeah, it had to have been within the last 8 months too, because the most recent video on the playlist was from March of 2024. So it's been, yeah, the newest video on that playlist was from 8 months ago. So it's been with that time, and I went through and like scrubbed through every single live from the Hive since then, and I could not find it. So if you know where it is, if you know how to find it, or if you see it somewhere, please let me know. I know, I don't feel like it was that long ago at all. I don't know how I missed out on publishing it though, because I believe it would be on the live from the Hive, and then it would, yeah. But that's the same kind of vibe I'm getting here. The reason I brought it up is that's the same kind of vibe I'm getting here, and the psychic surgery stuff. But yeah, I'll add this psychic surgery to the list.
I appreciate the applause. I appreciate the support. Thank you, everyone.
All right. This did not teach me how to telekinet or pyrokinate. Show you how to get a girl to bare her midriff for ya. And let you touch her all over. Is this Master Ziyang too? Yes, it is. Alright, what are you going to do? What are you going to do to her? Are you going to set her on fire? Poopy's 2 fingers.
The heat arrived.
Okay. What are you doing to her?
It was heat. What do you feel?
Yes, it's
Heat.
burning, like
Burning.
fire, like.
Ну как тебе? Было больно?
Ну терпимо. Я думала, вы
You let the dude set your stomach on fire? Like what?
сигаретой прижигают.
Болень, крутизна.
Да.
Yeah. Yeah, Bugbot will show for you guys.
After that, you know, some water.
What did you do to her?
Scratch it. Let it burst normally. Don't scratch it. Again, leave it. Stand up.
Homie's got his hands all over this. This is his grift. He's just like, I want to touch pretty girls. I want to pretend I can make fire with my hands or with my brain so that pretty girls can, yeah. All right. All right, dude. You got a lighter. Okay. You got a lighter too. Here, we're actually going to scoot this over since this guy's doing it with a lighter. What are we doing? You explain this to me? It's getting hot. And we're wasting fuel. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste my lighter fuel with this nonsense. What are we doing? Yeah, let's see if I get a candle though. Let's do it.
Pyrokinezi arkadaşlar ateşle bir olup onu hissedip şekil vermek ya da değişik formlarına uğraştırmakla ya da uğratmakla mümkündür. Tabi bunun için psibolu vesaire enerjinizi iyi hissetmeniz gerekiyor ki buraya verebilirsiniz. Herhangi çakmadan istediğim kadar yaksam bile böyle duracaktır. Niye? Çünkü herhangi bir şeyim yok. Alışverişim yok. Gördünüz. Görüşürüz. Bol çalışın, enerjiyle kalın.
I can do that too. I'm not sure what you're getting at, pal. Okay. Here we go. Is this going to teach us the secrets? Scion Sorcerer.
It's time for some pyrokinesis training.
Yes.
I have a candle here.
Homie's got a candle too. Oh yeah. On the same page, brah. Let's do this. I got mine lit already, but why you gotta use a lighter if you're a pyrokinetic?
Now then, let's see if I can get some kind of effect happening with this candle flame. First I'll try pulsing. I'll try pulsing the flame.
Pausing the flame.
At the moment I have virtually no skill with flame pulsing, so let's just see how it goes.
I'm not sure what language that was, but yeah, that's what he was doing. Was there's not a lot of wiggle room in this, but there is a little bit of regulation because it's a slide that comes in, so you can regulate the fuel release on that without looking like you're actually moving anything. All right. Well, I'm happy to know that I'm not losing my mind, but. Are you really going to spend 12 minutes? We're speeding you up. Holy crap. We'll do 2 times. Because your telekinesis is slower than mine. What's he trying to do? Pause the flame? Homemade cinnamon rolls sound freaking lit. Yeah, you need a robe like that, Dave. It will teach you how to be badass warlock. Who doesn't want to be a warlock? Oh, this one is dressed like one of those Resident Evil 4 monks and that go Murdy, Murdy, and throw freaking flails at you or whatever. I can literally do better than all these people. I have a jewelry torch with an oxy tank. I could blast the flames with oxygen and make it poof. Yeah, that'd be cool. You could do like.
Let's try my tornado.
Tornado.
Technique. So we can get the flame
Dude,
moving.
if you make a fire tornado in that, I'll buy whatever you're selling. Let me see you do it. And I'm just trying to get some of the wax out of here because my candle's starting to get juicy. I'm down if it means I can fly and teleport through time and shit. Dude, make a tornado. You said you're going to make a tornado. I want to see it. He's got both hands on there now like this. Am I doing it right? There is some success here with the tornado technique. The flame.
Okay, the flame is dancing around just a little bit. I'm not sure if you can see it on camera. So let's try flame kill or flame extinguish.
Flame extinguish. Okay, so he's got his.
I've never achieved actual flame extinguish before. I've only ever had the flame decrease in size. Just a little bit.
Well, let me show you how it's done.
Pyrokinesis is not my strong point.
I'll let it cool for a minute while we watch this guy.
Beginner in pyrokinesis. What I'm doing here is just filming a little part of my training process with a candle flame. So let's try flame extinguish.
I just let my wax cool because it was starting to get juicy. I knew it was going to be. I thought he was dressed like a warlock from Skyrim. hey, PC. It's ESPC. Because the candle will burn better if I let the wax dry. It's just science. Just science, y'all. This could be a still for all we know because there's nobody moving. He's got cool rings, though. I like his rings. I got rings, too. So, we got more in common than you think, Warlock dude. Except for, I don't sniff my own farts about thinking I can have magic powers. I did. I tried.
Okay, so I'm not sure if I actually made the flame decrease in size at all. I'll have to check back on the film. But for me, pyrokinesis is kind of like a side skill or a minor skill that I'm training in. The two major skills that I'm training in are, of course, telekinesis and levitation, flight.
There you go. He can levitate and move stuff with his mind. So, if you want to learn how to fly, because people can do that, if you don't notice, it's because they put they cast a glamour over themselves so you can't see them up there soaring around. But yeah, if everybody could just fly, we'd save tons on fossil fuels every year.
My main focus. So, I don't expect to suddenly become great at pyrokinesis. I'm fully aware that it will take, many years of training, daily training. I have patience and I have perseverance, and those two qualities in themselves can take you a long way in your psychic training.
They still have to be, the psychic powers still have to be real, though. That's gonna be your main hang up, is that you can have the dedication and perseverance and all that good stuff, but if psychic powers just aren't real, then you're spinning your wheels for nothing.
Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you again soon.
Namaste. Alright, what are we doing, bro? Okay. I think mine's probably cold enough, too, to light it back up. Yeah. Perfect. Let's do this. What are we doing? What are we doing, guy? What's happening? What are we trying to do? Guy, what are you doing? Nothing's happening. That was pyrokinesis? I didn't see anything. Start putting your energy into a candle. Got my candle here. Womp 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 womp. Womp 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 womp. There we go. It's charged. The candle is charged with Bree power. It's the best kind of energy that I have available right now. Then blow it out and relight your candle. I already did that too. Blew it out and relit it. I like how most of these videos, like, literally nothing happens besides the flame dancing around and the changing air temperature and wind directions and stuff. Oh. I'm bringing the magic candle. Come on. Firenado is a soup can, cut straight down the side to almost the bottom, bending Bend one cut edge a little and the other puts fuel at the bottom of the light. People are so gullible, right? And I'm magical. Like, do you see how magical I am? Ooh. You all are normies. We call you muggles. Or just psychic vanilla people. Because you can't fire tornado like I can. Fire tornado. Look at that. Look at that. I'm doing it with my mind, not with the air. I'm not making the flame dance with the air. I'm doing a fire tornado. Fear me. Fear me. How long you got this going on for, buddy boy? 5.5 minutes? Okay. What? Magic breathe. Yeah, thank you. Namaste. Pyrokinesis.
Okay, so with flame pulsing, what
Film
I'll do
this
is
with
I'll
a
show you how you can cycle
potato.
from slow pulsing and increase the tempo or the wavelength of energy that you're sending through it to increase the pulse rate so that your pulse will actually go faster. Okay, so I'm going to start off slow and then I'm going to increase it.
It's blurry enough that you can't make out whether he's blowing on it, but I see his lips person. Wait, was that cool music?
Flame pulsing. Once you've gained affinity with the flame and you've learned how to sync yourself into it, your own energy field in with the flame, you can increase. It's like a feel. Like once you're in sync with it and you start to pulse with it, you'll feel the pulse. And as you push the intensity, I feel it as yang energy, but other people might feel it as a yin energy. As you increase it, when you push the intensity, the flame pulse will speed up. I'm just going to demonstrate that here for you now. I'll start slow and then I'll speed it up.
Oh, I blew it out. With my mind! Yeah!
Just take my watch off. Just annoying me a bit. Alright. Okay, here we can see it's pulsing slowly. You don't really need your vision for this, it's more of a feeling technique. In fact, I like to close my eyes for this. So I'll just try and increase the tempo, keeping my face this way.
I'm thinking that there's...
Try that again. Slow. To a faster.
It's not dark enough in
With the
here
slower
for me to
tempos,
see.
it's more of a light, dark, light, dark. As you get faster, it's more of a quicker flicker, as it were. Try and demonstrate that again.
Oh, my TK is too powerful.
Once again, I just have to tune my mind and my field into that of the fire, so it just takes a few seconds.
Down. Down.
Slow.
My nose starts bleeding, then you know I've got the power.
To a faster. My hands shake a bit because
My nose is
probably
drippy,
visualizing
though.
too much of the intensity, which in turn, if you're touching the candle, it might shake it a little. And there you have it. It's you can increase and decrease the pulse rate of the flame according to your biofield. It's also a lot harder to narrate to a camera and to be focusing on energies, but I hope that I've demonstrated, at the very least, a basic demonstration for those who would like to learn this.
You've demonstrated
this of course, could be
nothing.
built into a more complicated discipline, but first of all, you need to learn to sync.
I feel like I was betrayed. Let's see, I worked for 8 years at a paint store. I told people I professionally watched paint dry. It was actually my job. If you have pyrokinesis, you can make the paint dry whoosh, just with your warm blast. You'd be like a heat gun. This looks legit. I'm glad you all are enjoying this.
In with the flame.
Okay. What's next? Okay. What you got for us, homie? I don't know what's going on here. You better do something impressive. I'm starting to lose interest. You got a match there, sitting in what looks like the cup of an old tea light candle. Oh, I see. You're trying to get that match or to just light with the power of your brain, and you move in real close. And it couldn't possibly be that there's more matches burning down there in that bottom of that tea light candle that you're blowing on. That couldn't possibly be the truth. Bree is concentrating hard on that candle. Meanwhile, some random neighbor is getting thrown around the apartment by a mysterious invisible force. Coincidence? Oh no, you think I'm just like thrashing people in the other room and don't even know it? Homie, what are we doing? Show me. Why is this video so blurry? Yeah, it's just what this looks like to me is that this is a match being lit from the bottom up. Where he's not showing you the bottom where it's burning. Rammstein level. I know. If I'm going to learn pyrokinesis, right? I want to be able to be like a Rammstein concert. So, anyway, that was definitely learning pyrokinesis. Did you guys learn it with me today? Let's see what we've learned. Okay, got my fire burning right now. I'm going to use what I've learned in today's episode to make this fire go out. All right, this may take just a few minutes. It may happen instantaneously. I don't know. Yeah. Guys, if you want to learn actual pyrokinesis, hit me up. I'm a professional, right? I've been practicing for hours. Literal hours, tens of hours at this. So I am an expert. And I will teach you my secret techniques. It's right here. Here's my secret. You might have one of these too. Do you have one too? Because if you do, you're the first step to learning pyrokinesis is having a nose. All right. So, do you believe in pyrokinesis? Do you think any of these videos are convincing in any way, shape, or form at all? Let me know in the comments down below. Appreciate everybody for sticking around and learning how to control flames with your brains with me. Please remember to be kind, take care, and we will see you next time. All right. Don't go anywhere, as I say at this time of the show. Don't go, and I will get the don't go alert put back up, Jason. Don't you worry your pretty little head. But we got another segment of the show to go. There's one more segment that we call Breeze Bestiary. So if you stuck around this long, you might as well stick around for this, because we're going to talk about animals and folklore and all that good stuff that we do on Breeze Bestiary. And today's topic, as you can see from the video title, Meep Meep, is going to be the Roadrunner. We're going to actually talk about some Roadrunner shit. So stick around after this little intermission and we will get to it. All right, I will be back with you with Breeze Bestiary. All right, hello, my beauties and bees, and welcome to Bree's Bestiary, where I am apparently super blurry for some reason. I don't know why. I didn't jostle my camera or anything. Let's try that again. There we go. That should fix it. Yeah. All right, let's start this again. Hello, my beauties and bees. Welcome back to another installment of Bree's Bestiary, where I take a member of the animal kingdom and explore their history, folklore, and ecology to give you a better picture and better understanding of their place in this wide world that we live in. Today, we are looking at a staple of the American Southwest, which is where I currently rest my head. So this is near and dear to me, and I hope to see these little guys in the warmer months that are coming up. But today, we are talking about roadrunners. Now, I grew up in the upper Midwest, out of the roadrunners range, and most of my peers growing up thought the roadrunner was a fictional creature, like a jackalope, that it wasn't like a real animal. But they can't be blamed for that, because there was a very fantastical depiction of the roadrunner that most people had in their mind, and it looked something like this.
You might have already heard of today's bird, specifically its loud...
Right there, this guy, which looks more like an ostrich than a roadrunner, but I digress. There's some features of it that do look like a roadrunner, but it doesn't have... And there's features of it that don't look like an ostrich. An ostrich only has 2 toes, but a roadrunner has 4 toes. Roadrunners leave little X footprints. There's zygodactyl, because they're cuckoos.
Sound as it sprinted away from an unlucky coyote. The Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote from the popular cartoon Looney Tunes is a childhood favorite of many. And
True.
This popular duo is one of the reasons why so many people even know of Roadrunners. However, there's still a lot more to these
and some people still think that a roadrunner is not real, too. That they think it's like a fictional creature. They're like, oh, their roadrunners aren't real. I guess mostly the size of the roadrunner is depicted in here. They'd be like, oh, if there was something there was a bird that big running around. But roadrunners are cat size. They're the size of a house cat. They're not the size of a ostrich, or even the size of a turkey. They're depicted like you seem to infer from the Looney Tunes cartoon when based on the size like vehicles and stuff that appear in the cartoon and other things. The roadrunner's bigger, but a rabbit is also not as big as Bugs Bunny, so I don't get why. And a duck is not as big as Daffy Duck, so I don't get why everybody's like, oh well, a roadrunner's big like that. They're not. They're a duck and a rabbit and a roadrunner, all within the same size range, and quite a bit smaller than they depicted in Looney Tunes. That's why it's a cartoon. But people are like, oh no, it's an ostrich-sized animal.
Birds than just their fast speed and clever wit that the cartoon excellently shows. If you're interested to learn more about these steadfast birds, then keep on watching for some Roadrunner facts. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more neat facts.
To be clear, and I want to make this very clear, the Roadrunner was my favorite Looney Tunes character. Like, always, every day. I liked Wile E. too, though. I actually liked Wile E.'s personality.
To discover the world one click at a time. Number 1. Roadrunners belong to the species of fast-running ground cuckoos. Unlike most birds,
Aw.
roadrunners are fast sprinters instead of flyers. On land, their average speed is around 20 miles per hour. Some have also been recorded to have run as fast as 27 miles per hour. Number 2.
So they're faster than people, but not as fast as a coyote. Let's make that clear. Coyotes can run super fast. Coyotes are like, I'm going to approach like 40 miles an hour, 43 miles an hour maybe. They're slower than wolves, but they're still fast and still have incredible endurance. The good thing about being a roadrunner, though, is you can fly.
There are 2 kinds of roadrunners, the greater roadrunner and the lesser roadrunner. Greater roadrunners inhabit Mexico and southwestern United States.
These are our boys. This is what the one from the cartoon is, the greater roadrunner.
Meanwhile, lesser roadrunners live in southwestern Mexico and northern Central America. Both roadrunners are very fast.
And they're not that much, the lesser roadrunner is not that much smaller. The greater roadrunner is about 24 inches long, 22, 24 inches long. With a long tail, too. The lesser roadrunner is about 18 inches long, so about 1.5 feet.
And have tails that help them maintain their balance. Number 3. Between the two, greater roadrunners are bigger than lesser roadrunners. Greater roadrunners are around 22 inches long, while lesser roadrunners are only around 18 inches long. Aside from their size difference, these 2 kinds have different feathers too. Greater roadrunners have white feathers and olive-green stripes. On the other hand, lesser roadrunners have yellow-brown feathers with fewer stripes. Number 4. While roadrunners can fly, they mostly prefer to run on land. Roadrunners have short...
They're not the best flyers.
...rounded wings, but they usually only use them when they need to escape their predators, such as coyotes and hawks. Raccoons are also known to feed on roadrunners, so you can expect roadrunners to fly away at the sight of them. Number 5. Unfortunately, greater roadrunners aren't exactly the best at flying.
I watched this before, so some of the facts I'm like spitting out are going to be like from this video, and I don't want to be like, oh yeah, you're just saying what he's saying, yeah. So I'm going to shut up and say things after he says them from now on.
Greater roadrunners are gawky in flight, so they aren't as graceful or natural at it as other birds in their family. Flying tires out these birds.
There's been some roadrunner facts being dropped out here. Coyotes are my spirit animal, says Jason Jacoby. We have an idiot woodpecker here that has decided to make his nest in the metal street sign. There's a loud meadowlark that hangs out outside and screams early in the morning here. Yeah, me and my buddy chased a roadrunner down a trail in a car. We must have been going about 30 miles per hour. He was pretty fast. Made a quick right into the bush. Yeah. You're in the Southwest too. Yeah. I used to live next to a nature preserve, and the coyotes would come look in my window at night. So, oh, I almost forgot to say this. I chased a coyote the other night. I was had a heated debate with one of my friends. So I went outside. It was late. It was like midnight to a quick stroll around the block to cool off, right? And there was a coyote sniffing around the trash cans, and I approached it and decided to run away, which was unfortunate, but I got to see it anyway. And I don't live like in the country. I'm in the city. I'm in the city of El Paso, right? I'm like you can see the mountains and stuff from where I'm at, but I'm like not close to them. So that coyote is an urban coyote. He was much, much smaller than the coyotes we have back home. So I lived in rural Missouri for so long. Coyotes were just everywhere, but they were a lot bigger than the coyotes they have down around here. A lot bigger.
Birds easily, and they find it difficult to maintain their flying altitude for more than a minute. Number 6. Roadrunners leave X marks with their feet. Roadrunners have zygodactyl feet, which means that each foot has 4 toes. 2 toes in front and 2 toes in the back. Thus, their footprints result in X shapes, making it look like they could be going in either direction. Number 7. Over time, the eye colors of roadrunners change. As hatchlings, roadrunners have black eyes. Later on, their eyes turn into a darker grayish brown. When the roadrunner reaches adulthood, their eyes become brown or brownish gray with a yellow ring near the pupil. Number 8. Roadrunners are monogamous creatures. This means that they mate with another roadrunner for life. When two roadrunners mate with one another, they strengthen their bond each spring with mating calls.
That was some hardcore roadrunner banging. Like, I seen the pigeons and stuff out here that have their breeding sessions, and they're like maybe 6 seconds max. Look at these roadrunners going at it for almost a full 45 seconds.
Chasing and sharing food, which are their own ways of courtship. During breeding season, the male roadrunner takes care of his mate by bringing her materials for her nest, such as twigs, snakeskin, and pieces of manure.
A cuckoo that takes care of its own babies.
Number 9. Both the female roadrunner and the male roadrunner incubate their eggs. Usually, only the mother looks after her offspring. In the case of roadrunners, however, both mates take turns to incubate their eggs. This remains true even after the eggs hatch. One of the two
you gotta sit on them babies at night when it gets cold in the desert.
Mates will always stay with their young for the first few weeks of the hatchlings' lives. After a few weeks, the baby roadrunners leave the nest on their own in search of food. Number 10. Male and female roadrunners have identical feather colors. It might be a bit difficult to tell male roadrunners apart from female roadrunners, since they not only care for their young
Is he gonna tell why? Because if not, I'm going to. Or how you can tell.
In the same manner, but also have the same brown feathers. Both male and female roadrunners also have white stripes on their feathers. Aside from this, their tails are also incredibly similar, with their 3 outer tail feathers lined with white on the tips. Number 11.
Okay, he didn't. So there's a patch of skin behind their eye, right? And at least during the breeding season, the males gets a flesh red color. Like it actually goes from like a red to a yellow up by the eye. So it's like a tequila sunrise, which is ironic considering where they live.
Roadrunners are opportunistic omnivores. This means that they aren't picky eaters at all. They eat almost anything and everything. Insects, smaller birds, seeds, and other fruits. They are also fast enough to catch lizards, scorpions, and spiders. Sometimes they'll jump high into the air to catch hummingbirds for dinner. Number 12. Roadrunners can even hunt down rattlesnakes. Not a lot of creatures can sneak up on rattlesnakes, but roadrunners are skillful enough to do so, especially since they often hunt in pairs. One of the roadrunners will jump and flap its wings in front of the snake in order to distract it. Then once the first bird has successfully gotten the snake's attention, its partner will sneak up from behind and pin the snake's head. It quickly smashes...
Snakes are a favorite of a lot of cuckoos, though.
...the snake's head against a rock before consuming it whole. Number 13. Roadrunners get fluid from their prey. This is an ability that helps roadrunners adapt to their environment, as they inhabit deserts...
That's a weird thing to say after you just acknowledge that they eat fruit, because getting... water from fruit is probably more substantial than from prey. Let me catch up on the chats here real quick. Sometimes, but so many coyotes have urbanized, it's more likely these days that they're healthy, just very used to people. Yeah, I was thinking that too in Arctic Fox, in an area in my town that's newly developed, they tore down a bunch of woodland to make room for development and shopping centers. There are coyotes everywhere, and that's so sad. A very credible place told me that all roadrunners are blue and love to trick coyotes. This guy is clearly FOS.
And dry lands. They stay hydrated by obtaining fluids from the food they consume. Roadrunners have a protein-rich diet, so they consume a lot of salt. To adapt to this, roadrunners have salt glands near their eyes that help them release excess salt from their body. Number 14.
Like a seabird, and they are the birds that it's kind of rare for other families of birds to do that don't live by the sea. So, interesting fact about roadrunners.
Roadrunners can lower their body temperature. Despite living in the desert, the temperatures drop during the nighttime. Thus, roadrunners lower their body temperature until they reach a torpor condition. This is a state of physical or mental inactivity that helps them preserve their energy until the night passes. Then, in the morning, roadrunners expose their backs to the sun, so they can once again feel warm. Number 15.
They'll actually raise their feathers up and expose their black skin on their back to the sun in the morning.
Roadrunners produce a coo sound. Some birds caw, while roadrunners coo like doves do. Male roadrunners will often produce coo sounds as a mating call when they are courting a female roadrunner. In some cases, male roadrunners will also make this sound to ward off other animals that step into their territory. Number 16.
I would have liked to hear the sound, but that's okay, we're almost done.
From cooing, roadrunners can also produce different types of sounds. Sometimes male and female roadrunners will bark and growl to communicate with one another. They also snap their beaks to produce click and clattering sounds to inform other roadrunners around of their exact location.
God, I love their tails.
Number 17. In the iconic Looney Tunes cartoon show, the character Roadrunner makes a sound. In Looney Tunes, Roadrunner is a blue and purple feathered bird who is so clever he often outruns and tricks Wile E. Coyote, the predator who chases after the bird episode after episode. As Roadrunner dashes off, he often makes a loud sound that has become iconic ever since the show was first created in 1948. Number 18. Native American tribes believe the Roadrunner can drive away evil spirits.
That makes sense because it attacks snakes and stuff, and sometimes snakes will be a symbol of evil for different cultures. Not always, but because they're venomous, they have that connection.
The Hopi, a Native American tribe from Arizona, and Pueblo, a native tribe from southwestern United States, both believe that roadrunners can chase evil spirits and misfortune away. In fact, tribe members also adorn roadrunner feathers on cribs, as they believe it protects their babies. In relation to this, the Pueblo tribe also...
It would be a good idea to have a roadrunner protecting your babies in the desert, because like a snake looking for warmth might crawl into the crib and the baby starts moving, scares the snake. Snake strikes, but if you had a roadrunner sitting on the edge of the crib, or if the crib smelled like roadrunner, it might keep that snake away. If there are roadrunner feathers around the crib. Think about it. So snakes are always symbolic of evil. Sometimes a snake's a symbolic of medicine too. Like if you look at the staff of Horus and things like that, we use snake iconography in our healthcare because snake taketh and snake giveth away. When it comes to poisoning the body, they also antivenoms and stuff are made from snake venom. So they are associated with medicine as well, and other things too, but because of their venomous nature, they're generally pinned down with being associated with suffering, sort of like a spider or a scorpion.
Considers the roadrunners as X-shaped footprints as sacred symbols, as these marks reassure them that whatever evil spirits near them were chased away. Number 19. Some also believe that roadrunners possess special powers. The Cholmaya is an indigenous tribe in Mexico, and they believe that roadrunners have special powers. According to their beliefs, the sounds that roadrunners produce can make any listener suddenly feel tired. Number 20. Roadrunners can live up to 7 or 8 years. Roadrunners mature very fast.
About as long as a large dog.
After 2 to 3 years, a roadrunner reaches its sexual maturity and will often look for a mate. However, in the wild, the average lifespan of most roadrunners is around 4 years. Roadrunners are more than just the funny cartoon bird on your TV screen that goes beep beep. These birds are incredibly important to the animal kingdom, and they help maintain the balance of the ecosystem. While these birds are incredibly fast runners, they can't outrun everything. especially not trash. It's important to keep their habitats safe and clean so that roadrunners can keep dashing through deserts healthy and free. If you enjoyed our video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more facts
Not
videos.
quite done yet, because I found this like news report thing. Check this out, like a coyote actually tracking
It's like
a roadrunner.
Looney Tunes cartoons are in real life. A coyote chasing a roadrunner. This was caught on camera in the Santa Cruz River in downtown Tucson by an assistant professor at the University of Arizona's School of Natural Resources and the Environment. No word on if the scene ended with the coyote falling off a cliff or getting hit by an anvil, but the roadrunner did get away. Katie Johnston for CBS Local News.
Yeah, being able to fly is pretty easy. Vinegaroons always scared me more than scorpions, probably because I encountered them more. But vinegaroons don't have any venom, though. Vinegaroons are pretty harmless to humans. They're like a praying mantis in their ability. They use mechanical damage to subdue their prey, which they crush with their little crushy claws. They can pinch you with their claws, but they can't really envenomate you. Here's another one. No sound on this one, but well, I mean, just normal outside sounds, I guess. See, he doesn't know whether to approach or not. Nervous coyote. And then the roadrunner's down here with his cool tail. And they're so much like cats, it's not even funny. He's gonna go for it. Oh. I sped it up, so this is like on fast forward, but I don't know if he actually goes for it or not. I just saw that there was a wild interaction, so it doesn't really look wild. It looks like a human built wall and shrubbery. So it looks like it's in someone's backyard. There's a tunnel painted there. Yeah, that's just a painted tunnel right there. He's trying to get the roadrunner to run into it. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, check this out. They're like cats.
Oh, I'm so proud. Can you find me something to eat? That's his favorite thing to do in the whole wide world. I'll get the leaf. Thank you.
Cuckoos are really smart, too.
I'm so proud. Can you find me something to eat? Well, bring it. He is like a little dinosaur. I'm hungry.
He is a dinosaur.
Did you find me a snack? What is it? You have a treasure. Mama doesn't know what it is yet. Hold on. He was relinquished to our rehab facility as a small chick. My first roadrunner. In 30 years, I actually attempted to release him. The next morning I came out and he was a hood ornament on the front of my car. And then he just wanted to follow me around and be a farmhand. He's a free bird. He hunts on his own, drinks on his own. He seems to come home to Mama's house every night. I've prepared my heart to one day see him leave and go off into the world. You want to say good morning to everyone? That's his favorite thing to do.
Yeah, they're like cats, and they're like a cat and a dog. I really wish we would have domesticated them. They would have been really cool little pets, like, because they catch rodents and bring them to you like a cat does, and they're always really excited and their tails wag to bring you gifts, and they like to get gifts too. It's part of their part of their social system that they give and receive presents from each other. So they'll always like try to bring you something, whether it's just a leaf, a fluff, or a dead rodent. Look how happy he is. Wagging his tail. Wagging his tail. Waggle, waggle. He wants to help build a nest too. Yeah, they mate for life, Maya, so definitely that bird's not going anywhere. It's already decided that that woman is his human, is his person. So yeah, he's not going to give it up. That's his life until he's gone. But they live about the right length of time for a house pet, right? They do all the behaviors that our mammalian house pets engage in, which is pest control and companionship and interpersonal relationship too. I think maybe the problem is that they only pair bond with one person, but they like to be loyal to somebody though, is the thing. So like if you had one as a pet, it would stay with you. That they would be like somebody that, or something that would be excited when you came home, right? Like you come home from work, your dog's tail's wagging us at the door. Be that kind of behavior. But in the other spectrum, like a cat, they're bringing you like dead mice and stuff. But they're also more likely to bring you bugs. So that's cool. Bring me some cool bugs, little Roadrunner. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'd love to have a Roadrunner as a pet. I would love to live in a alternative timeline where Roadrunners were domesticated. That'd be fun, right? Yeah. Anyway, this has been Bree's Bestiary, covering the Roadrunner. Please remember to be kind and take care. We'll see you next time. All right. So that's the show for today. We did the Clifton Bunny Man, and then we learned pyrokinesis, right? We did that stuff, and then we spent some time chasing around Roadrunners. It's been a fun morning. I really enjoyed this. I know the only thing I know for sure next week is that I'm talking about sardines in Bree's Bestiary. We're going to do canned fish culture because sardines and anchovies is what we're going to talk about. And the little food fishes, little fishies that we eat on pizzas and stuff. So stick around for that. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And there should be like a subscribe button down there too if you're not subscribed. Now, you may also notice, I think it's on there, that there's a store down there. There's a store where I have t-shirts available. So, haven't had anybody buy anything yet, but they're there if you want them. There are 4 designs for the Cryptic Corner t-shirt. We have our t-shirts. We have the Mothman, the Skunk Ape, the Dogman, and the Jersey Devil. So those are our current t-shirts. There is going to be some different ones coming up for that'll be limited time releases for different holidays as well, different seasons as well. They'll generally be available for about 3 months, and then we'll pull it back and release a different one. The first one, actually February, so it's going to be coming out fairly soon. So keep your eye out for that new t-shirt as well. And it will be be available in green. So just to give you an idea. Anyway. Thank you so much for sticking with me. It's been a fun show. Been a super fun show. And I really appreciate everybody sticking around. We actually had a good turnout this morning, so let's keep that up. I love entertaining you guys. Watch for the polls for Cryptic Corner and Weird With It, because we do polls on what to cover. Breeze Bestiary is mine. Now, so I got my name in the title for a reason. I pick what we cover there. But you guys get to help choose what we cover in the other segment. So remember that. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything like that, put them in the comments down below. If there's anything that I used to do on the show that I don't do anymore that you miss, let me know. If there's any suggestions that you have on things that I could do, let me know. If you got a gripe about what I'm currently doing, though, kiss my butt. I'm just yeah, the climbing moth design is pretty sweet too. That's one of my original Hive Sci designs. It goes way with the wasp and everything. Yeah, but yeah, I gotta get going. I'm going to go eat something, and then maybe walk down to the park and see if anybody will let me step in on their tennis game. I don't know. Be kind, take care, and we will see you next time.
With all the noise, pseudoscience, and political rhetoric clogging the airwaves about transgender people, it can be difficult to understand what's really happening and what's really true. Good news, everyone! Welcome to The Transpositions, your compass in the rugged landscape of transgender issues. Here, we strive to be the beacon of authenticity, providing a platform that amplifies the voices and experiences of the transgender community. From breaking news to in-depth features to breaking down the real science, we are committed to fostering understanding, empathy, and empowerment for all individuals across the gender spectrum. Join us as we navigate the complexities, celebrate the triumphs, and advocate for the rights of transgender people worldwide. Together, we can redefine boundaries, challenge stereotypes, and champion inclusivity. Subscribe today. The link is in the description.